course, I don't know about you, but I get a certain satisfaction when I see the BBC getting put in their place. Especially, of course, when they have the audacity to charge us all with their silly TV licence if we want to watch other TV channels live. And who better to put them in the place than someone like, Jeremy Clarkson? Because he does have a certain knack, doesn't he, when it comes to words. I mean, just look at this.
So it's not about you, it's not about your farm and the fact that you bought a farm to avoid inheritance tax?
Classic BBC there, classic. Oh yeah, it's not the fact that I bought a farm to avoid inheritance tax. The fact.
You told the Sunday Times in 2021 that's why you bought it.
These people.
Sorry?
BBC. Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
I wanted a shoot, okay? That's even worse to the BBC. I wanted a shoot, which comes with the benefit of not having to pay inheritance tax. Now I do. But people like me will simply put it in a trust. And so long as I live for 7 years, that's fine. And as my daughter said, you will live for 7 years. You might be in a deep freeze at the end of it, but you will live for 7 years. But it's incredibly time-consuming to have to do that. And why should all these people have to do that? Why should they?
So one of the reasons Rachel Reeves says she brought this in is to stop wealthy people using it as a way of...
No, that was the only reason she did.
Apparently, he also went on to joke that she, Victoria Derbyshire, had formed her views at the same sixth form debating society as Miss Reeves. Which, of course, judging on Rachel Reeves' budget performance, I kind of would say I agree with him. She, of course, apparently went on to repeat the Chancellor's claims that inheritance tax going up would raise money for public services. The thing is, though, why should farmers bear the brunt of all this? It just seems very unfair, especially when their profit margins, from what I'm aware, are minuscule at best, because from what I heard, most of the time it's the supermarkets that actually set the prices, not the farmers themselves. And yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm guessing Tesco or Asda or any other supermarket won't really want to pay any more than they had to, and will just think about their profits at the end of the day. And remember, of course, Jeremy Clarkson used to work for the BBC, so he knows exactly what they like and how they may or may not twist things a tiny little bit, eh? Therefore, of course, I don't know about you, but I always take anything the BBC says with a teeny weeny, actually a huge mountain of salt, just in case they might be doing a similar thing again. Miss Derbyshire apparently then asks, where should they get their money from, if not farmers? To which Clarkson replied, did you hear that, everyone? The BBC thinks you should be paying for everything, and he is totally right, isn't he? The BBC really do need to get their heads out of their bums, and the sooner they do that, the better, because perhaps then they might grow this thing, what's it called? A brain. Clarkson went on and he says, do you know how many people pay inheritance tax in this country? 4%. Inheritance tax. 96% of the population of the UK does not pay inheritance tax, and after this becomes law, 96% of farmers will. That's where he got this figure from. Mr. Clarkson turned to the crowd of farmers and said, who here is going to be unaffected by these changes? No one. And he went on to say that his message to the government is this: please back down. They've got £40 billion. I'll tell you where to get the money from. Walk into any offices around here, and he's talking about Whitehall, I guess, and if you don't understand what somebody's job is, fire them. And that is a very good point, isn't it? Quite often than not, it seems that government roles in general, or actually roles in the civil service rather, are, shall we say, ever so slightly bloated. Especially, of course, when a lot of them, as far as I'm aware, still work from home. Which in this day and age, a couple of years after COVID restrictions were lifted, there's just no excuse for it, is there? And the sooner the government realises this, the better.